Uh, in this video, we're going to talk about performance by design. This is a patented product that we have introduced, and it's been built up over years, which we've seen issues within design of cladding substrates. So what we're trying to do here is to get something which will get maximum durability and adhesion for the coatings that's going on to the cladding.
So Performance by Design was launched in the back end of 2024 and is a service that we deliver directly to our timber partners, to architects and to end users and homeowners. And essentially what it is an ethos as well for us as a company, because we work with 6 fantastic suppliers who manufacture great products that have had thousands of hours of research and development, of testing, way before even being delivered to market. But something that we see quite often is specifications coming to us that aren't complete. And ultimately, the only person that loses out then is the homeowner or the client. And Performance by Design was then launched as a way of being able to offer a service where we obviously meet with architects, homeowners, like we go to them, like they come here and see us and have a factory tour. And it's ultimately offering the best factory coated cladding system for each individual project. So working with architects then, we then understand the project and the location, the design of the building. We then look at things like the timber species. We then look at the profile design, if we're doing a horizontal board, if we're doing vertical boards. And then using all this information and discussing surface and finishes, we can then build a specification for the coating system that maximises the performance by design and then offers the client maximum durability and ultimately makes a timber product last longer.
Yeah, and also, if you start this process, what it does then is it sort of gives you a long-term maintenance program, because if, for instance, you've invested in this particular cladding project and you've gone to the great detail in researching different coatings, different timbers. So say, for instance, you're going for an Accoya and you're going for a coated system, and then you really want that to last and last. So you get the design right, and then you follow the specification from the manufacturers. So when it states on the technical data sheet that that particular product has to have a preservative, we apply that. Yeah. We then apply a second and third coat and build it up that way.
Yeah.
And so what we don't do is, as you know, what we have found that if you follow the specification where it's 3 or 4 coats, you put the correct film build as in line with the manufacturer. So say, for instance, it's 180 wet film thickness. So we can measure that. But you know, what we don't want to happen is you know, other people may want to put 2 coats in one and maybe put 300 on there. But it doesn't work like that, because that takes, if someone puts a heavier coat on to sort of miss a coat out, what you get in there is a lot longer to dry. So maybe when that's packed and going out, it's not fully cured, and then it becomes suspect to moisture very, very quickly. And that can cause issues with coalescence or even moisture ingress, causing the paint to fail. And then it would start to sort of pale and flake. And so we adhere to all that technical data. We do have audits from the paint companies, which is all documented. And but with this extended sort of extended maintenance, what we're trying to do is, if you've invested in this, and then say in 8 years or 10 years, then you are following the maintenance guide, we can offer that in line with the manufacturer of the coatings to keep that particular aesthetics look keep going, isn't it? You know,
that's it, and it's that's where it's, you know, like we've just started our external testing program now, which factors in a huge range of coatings, a huge range of species, and it's been a large investment for us as a business, but that's so that we can use this information to accurately build specifications.
This is here for, for generations. You will refer to this. I've been working in the industry for a long time, but I've been trying to get somebody to hook into this. And I used to do it myself at home, but it was only on a small scale. But obviously James E. Hatchin's son have invested a lot, as we said, but this is going to be absolutely brilliant. And we've rolled it out to all the manufacturers, the timber people, and they're all taking a little bit of interest in this.
Yeah.
And it'll be something that we will give them feedback on this. So, and it's also in Chorley, which very rarely sees a lot of sun. And, anyway, over to you, mate.
So like Graham was saying, it's a full service. It's delivering the full package, not just from some timber with a bit of a coating on. It's a detailed spec of everything: the profile, the species, surface finishes, the full build-up of the coating system. Because as you were touching on, if we do anything that deviates from, let's say, Tetanus, for example, if we deviate from that spec in any way to try and be more competitive on price in order to reduce our manufacturing times, it's a deviation from that specification. So ultimately, all we're going to end up with then is a reduction in the durability of the system, and ultimately the end user's then going to lose out. And then you've also then got the maintenance plans, which obviously you write yourself on a project by project basis. So again, like our end users then can continue to look after their cladding system and their coating, so it lasts as long as possible then. Yeah,
as we said it earlier, I can't remember which section we was talking about, but when you look at the aspects of a building and you've got the performance by design, fully factory finished, all finished and fitted correctly, everybody's happy, it's all signed off. And then if you think about it's going to be low maintenance down the line, which is a word that people like to hear. And but if you think about the aspect that we would only maybe concentrate on the south facing, because the other aspects might not need a coatings anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
So that really does keep costs under control.
Yeah.
And that is the most important part about that, is that we put the correct film build on.
Yeah.
Because coatings do erode, and they erode probably on an estimate between 10 microns per year. So if you think about in 5 years, 50 microns of paint has eroded, you know what I mean? We probably put on as a dry film thickness round about 100 to 120, I would say.
Per coat.
That's wet, but I'm talking about
film,
dry.
Yeah, dry film,
so once they're all dry, because paint has volume, so some of the opaques may have a 40% volume. So if you put 100 on there, you're only getting 40 microns dry. So once you've got that 120, you would think that ideally that's going to give you a minimum of 10 years. So if you think about the west side, it all depends where the location is in the country, but the east and the north side may not even need coatings when it comes to maintenance. Yeah. So that's the important about getting the correct film build and the design right. And if the building's designed right by the architect, that adds to longevity of the substrate.
Yeah, and then this comes on to obviously an example that we've discussed on this, and it's a little bit extreme, but if you take an F1 car, doesn't matter the team, the manufacturer, it can be McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, whoever. We can all agree that they are the pinnacle of high performance. But then if you take that car and put it on a stage of the World Rally Championships, it isn't going to perform as well as anything else. Yeah. But that doesn't mean to say that the car isn't performing. It means to say that because of the environment that it is in,
it's not suitable.
It isn't suitable.
Exactly.
And that's where, again, things like the profile design, the board orientation are so crucial. Because again, if we've got a high film forming system, we don't want to be using a profile with sharp edges. And any manufacturer that we work with will tell us that.
Yeah.
The guys at a Koya and a Boulder will tell us that. But then sometimes...
The thing I'll just interrupt you there is that I actually like a channel design, on a vertical, and I like to see that edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just say, for instance, that it was my specification, and I said, look, Fraser, I want this sharp edge because I like it, because I stand back and I look at the landscape on my garden, and I've got this lovely fence, and I'm thinking, that's how I want it. The way I would say, if somebody wanted that, then maintenance would be required on a more regular basis to that edge.
Absolutely.
Because the paint on the edge itself will only perform a very low build, and what will be the first thing to fail would be that edge. So that would be maintenance. But if it was slightly rounded off, you're going to get the continuation of the film, which would then give you longer durability.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is the design is right, but
and then we'll specify a coating system according to
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
That's where performance by design is, and that's what it's here for. So we hope you've enjoyed that video, and I hope you've found a few key points and benefits from it. And if you like the video, then please give it a like, please subscribe and share, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.